Welcome back to another class on Chofetz Chaim and Mishlei. We are continuing with the pasuk Im tevakashena kekesef v'chamatmonim techapasena az tavin yirat Hashem v'dat Elokim timtza. After seeing in the previous classes, why does it have to say seek by kesef, search by treasure? Today we want to understand why when it comes to yirat Hashem it says you have to understand. Why when it comes to knowing the knowledge of God, it says you have to find. We want to go ahead and try to better understand this verse from Shlomo HaMelech in Mishlei. So the Chofetz Chaim continues and he says, when you see in the pasuk when it says, Az tavin yirat Hashem, hu neged bichinat bakashat hakesef. When it says over here, Az tavin yirat Hashem, this corresponds to tevakashena kakesef. Az tavin yirat Hashem has to do when it comes to seeking silver. V'lo amar timtza, and it didn't say over here, Az timtza yirat Hashem. Pay close attention. Over here it says, V'dat Elokim timtza, and the knowledge of God you're going to find. It could have said over here also easily, Az timtza yirat Hashem, then you're going to find the fear of God. How come it didn't say that? So comes the Chofetz Chaim. The Chofetz Chaim wants to tell you, because Az tavin yirat Hashem is going with Im tevakashena kakesef. And we're going to see after that, when it says V'dat Elokim timtza, is going with V'chamatmonim techapasena. This and this is one that corresponds to each other. Torah and the word timtza, they correspond with each other, as we'll see right now. So, one more time. When it says, Az tavin yirat Hashem, then you're going to understand the fear of God. Hu neged bichinat bakashat hakesef. That corresponds to the aspect of when it comes to seeking kesef. V'lo amar timtza, and he didn't say over here, Az timtza. Rather, he used the language, Az tavin. Why? Why didn't he use the language of timtza? Shelazeh lo shaykh inyan mitziah. When it comes to fear of heaven, it's not applicable to go ahead and say now you're going to go and find it. When it comes to fear of heaven, it's not something that you find. Why? Shelo haya davar mitchila b'mitziut klal. Because the fear of heaven was never in his existence. Now let me just try to clarify that. If you recall in the previous class, when it comes to searching, we said you have to search it like treasure, because the treasure was already here. When it comes to kesef, the money is not here, so therefore you have to go ahead and you have to seek it. So comes the Chofetz Chaim and he tells you, do you know why Shlomo HaMelech went out of his way to tell you, Az tavin yirat Hashem? Then you're going to understand yirat Hashem, and he didn't use timtza, because fear of heaven is not something that you find. Meaning it's not something that came down here with you, just like Torah. Like we explained before in the previous class, the Torah was given to us at Har Sinai. Everybody already received their portion. It was already hidden for them. It's our job to go and find it. By yirat Hashem, by fear of God, you can say that. It is your job to bring yirat Shamayim into your life. You can't say, okay, I'm going to go find fear of God. No, it doesn't work like that. You actually have to understand how to come and fear God. And that's what the Chofetz Chaim is telling us over here. Do you know why we didn't say over here, Az timtza? Because when it comes to yirat Hashem, it's not a mitzvah, it's not something that you find. Why? Because that is something that was never in the world to begin with. Yirat Hashem is dependent on you. You know, in Masechet Sotah and Daf Bet Amud Aleph, on the bottom Rashi brings down that HaKadosh Baruch Hu already knows. It says, Bat Ploni Leploni, Bait Ploni Leploni, that this girl is going to marry this person, that this house is going to belong to this person. So over there it says who's going to be rich, Chas v'Shalom, who's going to be poor, who's going to be smart, and so on and so forth. It gives what's going to be with the person's life. But one thing it does not speak about is yirat Hashem. If a person is going to be a tzaddik or a rasha, that it does not speak about. Why? Because Rabotai, that is up to us. A lot of us, unfortunately, we'll look at our surroundings and to see, oh, they're doing it, so I'm also going to do it. They're doing it, so I'm also going to do it. But we don't realize one thing, Rabotai. What they're doing, is it right or is it wrong? Just because what they're doing right now, and they're wasting their potential, as we're going to see today, they're killing their potential from becoming good Jews, from becoming God-fearing Jews, from becoming tzaddikim, or even Talmidei Chachamim. Don't think that's right. Rabotai, that is the last thing you ever want to do, is look at a person that kills his potential away. As we'll see today, as you guys can see over here, why do we settle for a minimum of Torah if we know that so much treasure awaits us? As we go on, we're going to get a better appreciation, Rabotai, of this verse. A lot of us, when you ask a person who's considered to be a shoteh, right, who's considered to be a fool, right? You ask a person. So people have different, definitions of what's considered to be a fool. But the Gemara is going to give us a definition of who's considered to be a fool, and that is a person who destroys what was given to him. What do I mean? The Chofetz Chaim is going to elaborate and he's going to explain. We were allotted a certain amount of time in this world. How many of us use that time to bring our potential to fruition? How many of us? Rabotai, very little. Many of us kill our own potential away by doing everything but serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We'll do every mitzvah just to get over with it. We'll daven just to get over it. We'll learn just to wait for Rabbi Chanan ben Akash Omer. But Rabotai, that is our whole being. That is our whole life. Why run away from something that gives you life and go to something that gives you death? Can you imagine a person picks up a phone, right? A person picks up a phone and now he's scrolling 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. 3 hours of potentiality you just killed. You have become a nobody. That is the shoteh. You are a fool. So you think you're somebody smart. You go to Yeshua, you sit there 3 hours, 2 hours. Or you go to a wedding and you waste your life away. Or you go to parties and you, Rabotai, do whatever you want to do. But I'm asking you a question. Could you have done something with your life at that moment? I'm not telling you not to go. You go. But everything should have a limit. Everything should be balanced. Why, when it comes to the materialistic side of the life, somehow we have all the time in the world for it? Comes to learn Torah, I'm tired, Rabbi. I can't do it now. Rabbi, you don't understand. When I come home from work, the amount of hardship that he goes through all day, and the financial worry, and then he has to hear from his wife, and when he walks into the house, the children jump on him, and he says, do you want me to come out of the house, Rabbi? You really think I'm in the right state of mind? Listen, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm going to ask you one question. This is exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to ask you, and if you're able to answer this question, you'll have the answer to your own question. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of us, when we know that there is a bar mitzvah or a wedding, any form of simcha at night in a certain party, how many of us, Rabotai, even after work, long day work, problems, whatever the situation might have been, you might have woken up that day early in the morning, still somehow you make it your business to come home, get dressed, shave, do your hair, put on the best suit. Or if you're a woman, you're probably 3 hours, 4 hours in just doing your hair and putting on makeup and the best dress, just to do what? To go and have fun? I want to ask you guys a question. And you're not tired? Now you're not tired somehow? No, you are tired. But why isn't the tiredness bothering you? Because it's important to you to be in that wedding, to be in that simcha, to be in that party. It's important. That's why you're not tired. Comes out when we say we're tired for Torah and mitzvot and tefillah and so on and so forth. It comes out over here that it's not important. Because when something is important to someone, they never become tired. You ever saw a mother? She could work a whole day. She comes home and she probably is just first hour into her sleep. The baby cries. She'll get up, change the diaper, feed the baby, go back to sleep. The baby cries again. Again, she's going to get up. You ask her, are you miserable doing it? Do you feel any fatigue? No, she's happy. How? Because she loves the child. When you love something, Rabotai, when you start loving Hashem, when you start loving His mitzvot, when you start loving His Torah, tiredness does not exist in your vocabulary. People are always looking how to rest, how to take off from Avodat Hashem. Rabotai, are we idiots? Can you imagine I open up a treasure right now and I tell you, please enter, you have exactly 120 seconds. I'm tired. Hashem said, I gave you, if Rabotai, I'm being nice, if a person is going to live 120 years, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, I'm giving you minimum of 120 years. Please enter. Do mitzvot, Torah, chesed, gimlut, do. What do we do? Yeah, I'm tired. Not now. I have time. How many people do you guys know that said they have time? Last year they were here, this year they're not. How many people you know that went to sleep and they didn't wake up? Chas v'shalom, Rabotai. Don't be so confident. Do not be so confident. Because when the landlord knocks, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu knocks, when the Malach HaMavet comes and he has to take the person away from his residency in this world, Rabotai, there's no extension, there's no lawyers, there's nothing that's going to help you. You cannot bribe Hashem. Don't waste your potential. Don't kill your potential on stupid things. Wake up, especially Rabotai, especially the parents. I was in a certain yeshiva. Whatever. So when you speak, you want to pay attention to the people that are sitting. So whatever. The people that were sitting over there were more on the high caliber. If I can tell you, big houses, vacation, cars, and so on and so forth. But when you look at their kids, chas v'shalom, Rabotai, lo aleinu, where are their kids? Are they lost? Are they Jewish? Are they not Jewish? Are they assimilated? So I was trying to bring down, I said, you guys are running so much after the money that you already forgot that you have a wife. You already forgot that you have children. Everything's about how we dress, how we look, what house we have, what car we drive. Rabotai, we completely forgot why we came down to this world. We no longer even spend time with our own wives, with our own children, with our own family members. It's unbelievable, Rabotai. To such an extent, I'm not speaking about Torah right now. I'm speaking about that already to such an extent. Parents next to their children on their phones, watching garbage or whatever it is that they're doing. Now's the time. Take your kids, speak to them, ask them, how was your day? How was your day? How was your day? See, did anybody bother you? Did something happen? Did somebody offend you? Listen to them, let them speak to you. Go outside, now it's getting hotter. Go outside, run with them, play basketball with them. I don't know, buy them rollerblades, do bicycle. Why are you killing your own potential? And not only that, you're killing your children's potential because they learn from the parents. Children want to be exactly like the parents, if not better. So if they see the father is a bum, they're also going to want to become bums. So Rabotai, we have to be very careful. Don't kill your potential away. You were allotted a certain amount of days, minutes, years in this world. Use it correctly. I tell you something, these things, I don't know, Rabotai, I'll be honest with you. Listen, somebody told me, about an iPhone. Somebody told me about an iPhone. The rabbi, is it good, is it not good? I'll put it to you like this. I can't tell you if it's good, it's not good. Again, you have to have it filtered. You have to guard yourself over it. But I'm going to ask you a question. Is a gun a good thing or not a good thing? It depends how you use it. Is a car a good thing or not a good thing? It depends where you drive. Synagogue, do you drive people around? Does it get you to work or you go to clubs and parties and beaches? So Rabotai, everything has its pros and its cons. I can't tell you if it's bad or it's good. But the one thing I do want to say is like this. This thing, Rabotai, that can't speak, that can't talk, can't do nothing, is killing your potential away. Eventually, when you die, this will be left behind, but you have made nothing of yourself. You haven't spent the time with your family, the time with your children, and what it's going to be? It's going to be one big regret. Why didn't I do it? But Rabotai, by then, you could do whatever you want, you could say whatever you want, but it's going to be too late. I knew a couple. Rabotai, this might be a very, very bad example, but I know a couple. I'm talking about maybe at least 20 years now. An elderly couple, maybe at that time they were in their 40, 45. And I always, I saw that the husband was very abusive, but the wife somehow stayed with him. I don't know why. She stayed with him. And to such an extent, she would get burned marks. And I just didn't understand why is she with an abusive husband. So she said she believed that one day he's going to change. Okay, let's move forward 20 years forward, Rabotai. When they're almost in their 60s, this guy, I asked him, is there anything that you regret in your life? Yeah. He says, yes. I said, what's that? He says, the fact that I did not spend time with my wife, but rather I spent time outside of the house. I was with friends. I cheated on my wife, Chasu Shalom. I went there. I was never with my kids. I never got the opportunity to actually really enjoy my wife, to be there with her. Like, I don't know where all those years went. But you look at this guy now, Nebuch, Mamish and Nebuch. Mamish, what did you accomplish? So you killed your whole life away just by thinking you're going to be with other people, with other friends. Rabotai, everything starts inside the house. Love your wife, love your children, love Torah, love mitzvot, love HaKadosh Baruch Hu. For these things, Rabotai, we never should get tired. For these things, we have an opportunity. HaKadosh Baruch Hu deposited them in your hands. Go ahead and spend time with them, Rabotai. Don't take it for granted that you have a wife, that you have a child, that you have children, that you have grandchildren. Don't, Rabotai. Don't allow this to destroy your life. And that's exactly what is happening today. Look what's going on. Chat, GPT, AI is coming out. Look at all the things that they're making. Just for us to be lazy. Better yet, just for us to be stupid not to think no more. Rabotai, do you understand what's going on? They want to be able to run your life. I would like to say it a little bit different. They want to be able to ruin your life. And that's exactly what's happening. When did you ever see divorce rate this high that the way we see it now? Where did you ever see kids go off the derech? Where did you ever see assimilation at the rate that it is now? Rabotai, we are open to too much garbage. At the very least, as parents, we should educate our own children to protect them from what's going outside. But you're going to only be able to do it when you put this garbage down and you take the time to be with your wife and your children and also with yourself. Give yourself that time to be able to speak to Hashem, to devote some time to be able to learn Torah. I'm not telling you shouldn't work. I'm not telling you, Rabotai, you shouldn't rest. But Rabotai, our whole life is a day of rest. All we're doing is resting. Either we're working or either on the phone. Working, phone. Bathroom, phone. Eating, phone. Sleeping, phone. You wake up, phone. It's like it became like your oxygen tank. It's unbelievable. People can't live without their phones today. Rabotai, listen. Look back 20 years. Look how far you came. What you could have changed and you didn't change. Don't wait. It's never too late. Start changing now. All right, so let's get back into this. So one more time, let's begin one more time and I'll go right through it. As tavin yirat Hashem, when it says in the pasuk, then you're going to understand the fear of Hashem, who neged bichin bakashat hakesef, that it corresponds to when it says here, im tevakashen hakesef. This as tavin yirat Hashem corresponds to tevakashen hakesef. V'lo amar timtza. It doesn't say here as timtza. Why didn't it say timtza? Shelazeh lo shaykh inyan mitzvah. Because over here, it's not applicable. The matter of finding, you don't find yirat shamayim, you don't find fear of God. Why? Because it was never a reality. Like was mentioned above. Rather, why do we have to say over here as tavin yirat Hashem? Why do you have to say tavin? Very simple. When you're going to run after yirat Hashem, like you do after silver, when you do like after money. Listen to this very carefully. Then you're going to start accountable. Then you're going to start understanding. Then you're going to come to actually fearing God. Fear of Hashem is not a reality that was planted here as a treasure like Torah. Fear of Hashem is something that you have to go and seek it yourself, like we said above. You have to go and learn Musar book, Misil Yisharm, Orcha Tzadikim, Sha'ar Teshuvah, like we spoke about it in the previous classes. That's why he says here, as tavin, when you start searching yirat shamayim, yirat Hashem, the fear of God, like you do for silver, you start then only understanding how to come to fear God. It all starts from you. Nobody can give you that injection of fear of God. It has to come within you. If you don't do it, nothing's going to happen, Rabotai. If you don't change, nobody's going to change you. And then afterwards the pasuk says, "V'dat Elokim timtza." Then the pasuk says, "And the knowledge of God you're going to find." Now we're going to explain this. Why is it over here timtza? So he says over here, "Hu neged," that corresponds to "V'chamatemonim techapasena az yimtza dat Elokim." If you're going to start searching for Torah like you do for treasure, then you're actually going to find the knowledge of God. Which is what, Rabotai? Which is what over here he says, V'chu chelko she'utman avuru b'Torah. That is the portion which is hidden for you in the Torah. That's over here, timtza corresponds to v'chad matmanin techapasena. If you're going to search it as treasure, then you're going to find the knowledge of God. Do you know why over here timtza goes with v'chad matmanin techapasena? Just like the treasures with the father and the children the treasure was hidden for them, so to Hashem, He planted the Torah already in this world. It's our job to go and find it. Once you're going to find the Torah, then you're going to come to understand the knowledge of God. So that's why we see clearly when it says "Az tavin yirat Hashem," why it has to say tavin, and now we understand why it says "V'dat Elokim timtza," why it has to say timtza. This is really a mitzvah. This is really a finding. You have to go out and find because the Torah was already planted here. Okay, now, Rabotai, the next piece. With this, we do conclude actually this verse. But now the Chofetz Chaim is going to go. Rabotai, I just want to explain to you who the Chofetz Chaim was. A lot of people think the Chofetz Chaim was only, one who wrote the Sefer, the Hilchot Lashon Hara, and that's it. So no, there's actually much more to it. The Chofetz Chaim did a very monumental work on the Mishnah Berurah. For those that don't know what the Mishnah Berurah is, let me just see if I can get it. And I want to just show you, just to allow you guys to have a basic understanding. I have over here in my book, not book collection, but in my library, I just want to see something 5, 10, 15, about 20. I would say about 25, almost 28 books of the Mishnah Berurah of Oz v'Hadar, and I'll explain to you what I mean right now. Just give me 1 second. So I'll put it like this. There's a Mishnah Berurah Oz v'Hadar that came out. Right, it's a few years ago. I got this as a birthday set. Somebody gave it to me as a birthday set. But the Chofetz Chaim wrote the Mishnah Berurah. This is the Mishnah Berurah. Now the Mishnah Berurah itself is only 6 chalakim. It's only 6 parts. It's on the Or Chaim. But the Mishnah Berurah Oz v'Hadar, they go on to explain the Chofetz Chaim's work. They wrote almost close to 25 books to better explain him. Now I just want to show you something, just for you guys to understand what the Chofetz Chaim did. Right, so we'll just take any halakha. Right, so you have the Shulchan Aruch on top over here. Then you have the Biur Halakha. The Chofetz Chaim, this is also the Chofetz Chaim, he explains the Biur Halakha. Then you have the Mishnah Berurah, it's a clear teaching. Then he tells you, he explains the Shulchan Aruch. Then on the bottom, he has over here Shar Tzion. He gives you the sources and also other things that you have to know about the halakha. Now I want to just try to explain to you something like this. Just understand who the Chofetz Chaim was. In order to be able to do this monumental work, you have to know not only Shas, Talmud Bavli, Talmud Yerushalmi. You have to also know other facets of the Torah. You have to know Beit Yosef, Beit Chadash, the Ramah. You have also over there the Prisha, the Drisha. You have over there many other Achorim, the Gaon Vilna, the Levusi Sarah, the Magen Aram, the Taz. In order to be able to go ahead and put this without those days, without no computer, to be able to write such a monumental book, you had to be a genius, Rabotai. You had to be committed to a life of Torah. Because there's no way you could write this without having a printer, in a, a computer and so on. No, it's not like you erase. Everything was handwritten. Rabbi Wolkin, the father, he gave me a picture. I have a lot of pictures from the Chofetz Chaim. I don't have it here. I think it's upstairs. He gave me a picture where they buried the Chofetz Chaim with his manuscripts, the 6 Chalak and Mishabur, that it should stand for him in the next world. He showed it was placed in the coffin. It was nuts. It's a very nice picture. But why am I saying this? A lot of us don't understand when the Chofetz Chaim speaks, who is he really speaking about? Rabotai, look what the Chofetz Chaim is saying, and he is giving over the message not only to himself, not only to the people in his generation, but even to all future generations to come. And look what he says, Rabotai. If the Chofetz Chaim was worried, we're going to see right now about Bittul Torah, not on his end, but he's going to explain right now about Bittul Torah and about killing our potentiality. How much do we have to start worrying? We really, really have to start worrying and asking ourselves, are we living a life of potential? Or are we living a life of destruction? We're not growing, Rabotai. I'm telling you, we're not. We think we're growing. Yeah, well, listen over there to one sure, he loves you, Hashem loves you not. Loves you, yes, don't worry, he's going to forgive you. Rabotai, potential. You know, there was a person, he wanted to become fit. He was about 350 pounds, 400 pounds. And all day he was hearing, you could do it, don't eat this, don't eat carbs, don't eat bread, don't eat rice, don't eat pasta, all right? Eat meat, eat fish, whatever, eat proteins. Yeah. But eventually when he wanted to come to do it, he couldn't do it. All day in front of the TV, donut, this, that. Where am I trying to get with this? How many of us act like that person? We hear good, inspiring words of Torah, but how many of us actually bring it into fruition, to bring it outside ourselves? How many of us actually start changing? We're going to see what the Chofetz Chaim is going to say. Do you know where all this goes? It goes, everything that we learn goes into the brain. But unfortunately, if it doesn't come out, you just wasted your life. Why? Because that brain is going to die. It's going to rot. It's going to become to ash. It's going to become to dirt. Where's all the knowledge that you learned? It's supposed to come out from you. You have to live it. You have to be a different human being. And this is what the Chofetz Chaim is going to go on and speak about right now. Okay. So he says like this, he begins. V'hina lefi kol zeh. And according to everything that we've been learning up to now from when we began this whole verse from a few classes back, Yesh lihtonen al ru'ah hanhagatenu. Now we could go ahead and we could complain at our improper misconduct. Shikol echad ve'echad, according to each person, lefi, and everywhere, according to each person, wherever they are standing in their religious level when it comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Matzui etzlo bittul Torah. Knowing this verse, a lot of us have to start worrying about our behavior. Again, everyone according to their level. How much bittul Torah is found by him? Now we just don't understand what bittul Torah is. That's all. That's why in Masechet Shabbat, I don't remember the daf right now. Masechet Shabbat, it says over there that Bittul Torah is so chamur that anybody who holds somebody else from learning Torah, their punishment is going to be askara chas v'shalom lo aleinu. Askara is a sickness where the swelling begins from the intestines, from the stomach, and it goes up to the throat and it chokes him. So the Gemara goes on to start proving, we see women also die from askara. They don't have the mitzvah of learning Torah. So you see, it's not because of Bittul Torah. The Gemara says because a wife that holds her husband back from learning Torah, she causes him to do Bittul Torah, she will chas v'shalom lo aleinu get killed from askara. That's why women get killed from askara. The Gemara says, one second, doesn't make sense. Children also die from the sickness of askara chas v'shalom. And they don't have a mitzvah to learn Torah since they still did not reach the age of 13. The Gemara answers because they nullify their fathers from learning Torah. Rabotai, we have to understand, Bittul Torah is not something like you think, okay, I learned today, I didn't learn today. If I bring in front of you right now a person that slept with 70 married women, killed 70 people, I'm just giving you a number, it could be more, it could be less, I don't care. I'm giving you just I want to just show you the significance. If a person started with 70 married women, he destroyed 70 families. He killed 70 people. He did Avodah Zarah 70 times. And you had a person that was able to learn Torah. He didn't learn Torah. He was on his phone scrolling. Who do you think is bad in the eyes of Hashem? Who do you think is going to get a more severe punishment? That guy that did all the 3 cardinal sins, or the person that did Bittul Torah? Go ahead, think about it. Rabotai, the Biur Halacha, which is the Chofetz Chaim in Siman Kuf Nun Hey, in Dibra Matchil Et Lilmod, brings down over there, Avon Bittul Torah overrides all those 3 sins. Not to say you should learn Torah and do those 3 sins, but when you think that doing Bittul Torah doesn't mean nothing, on the contrary, a person that does Bittul Torah, he'll be punished more than all of them. Why? Because when they do one Avera, let's say they slept with a married woman, or they did Avodah Zarah, or they kill somebody, it's one Avera. When you do Bittul Torah, it's Keneged Kulam. It's against all the Averas in the Torah, that, as if somebody Chasron did it right now. So when you're thinking right now, you're not learning Torah, and you're on your phone scrolling, Rabotai, it's as if you're doing all the other Averot. Just like you understand Talmud Torah, Keneged Kulam. Understand Bittul Torah also Keneged Kulam, against all the Averas. That's why when a person does an Aver and a person who does Bittul Torah, his punishment is more severe. The one who does Bittul Torah. Understand, Bittul Torah is not something we should ever take lightly. Oh, my wife doesn't want me to go. Oh, I can't go, I have to go over there. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have this. Rabotai, all people's problems come from not learning Torah. You know the Gemara Masechet Berachot, I believe it's in Daf Hey or Daf Vav, it brings down over there. One who's able to learn Torah and he doesn't learn Torah, the Gemara Masechet Berachot says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mevi alav yisurim muchoarim ve'ochrim oto. Hashem himself is going to see to it that he's going to bring such sufferings on this person that are going to eat him and they're going to completely destroy him. Why? Because of Bittul Torah. And people wonder, why do we have problems? Oh, let me go to the rabbi. Oh, my mezuzah is not good. My tefillin is not good. Mazgi! What are you doing with your potentiality? Are you learning Torah? Are you bringing it out to fruition? Are you using the brain HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you for Torah, for mitzvot, for Yirat Shamayim? Or are you using it all day watching, scrolling? What are you using your potential for? And this is very sad, Rabotai, and I want to just bring out another point. A lot of times you have a person, again, you have to understand, I'm not chas v'shalom speaking about nobody. I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea. But you have people that they also learn, right? They learn and, but they don't take care of themselves. You start seeing them, right? Again, Rabotai, I'm not making fun of nobody, but we have to wake up. I educate my children like this. B'lei Har, my children love to learn Torah. I'm very happy. But at the same time, I have to educate them. You guys have to exercise. You guys have to run. You have to play basketball. Baruch Hashem, they do it. But you also have to start pushing them. Because they're very important. Because when a child learns, or when a child is doing one thing, they forget about their body. And this is unfortunately what happens with us. When we get into something, for example, a lot of times we're so involved, let me make it more real so we can understand. A lot of times we're so involved with work, we forget about our bodies. A woman so involved with work, she comes home, she's like a lata, like she's like done, but she forgets her husband's coming home. She has to look beautiful for him. Or a husband, he goes to work. Again, I'm not saying forget about Torah, but I'm just put that aside for a second. A husband goes to work, so he doesn't have the time to give himself to be able to work out, to be able to exercise. Why all this is? Again, because of the phone. Back to the same point. The same thing with Torah, Rabotai. Just because you're serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not give you the right to look like a slob. Does not, Rabotai. You have to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to make a time for everything. There's a time to work, time to pray, time to learn, time to work out, time to eat healthy. You have to make time. You have to guard yourself, Rabotai. I was speaking to somebody in shul. I don't know what he did. Something, smoking. He was smoking. I said, why are you smoking, right? whatever. Everybody's gonna give you you're not Rav Kaduri, you live to 120, you're not Rav Kaduri anyway, it doesn't matter. But you don't understand, there's a very big difference when the old timers, when they smoked versus today, our youngsters. Today, back then, they didn't know actually the severity of the hazard that the damage that it can do to a person's health. But the Torah says you have to, so I told this person, stop smoking. I tell him, stop smoking. What should I tell him? I tell him straightforward. At least start cutting down on your cigarettes. I said, you have a wife, Blaine, her young wife, children. You have mortgages to pay. Who's going to take care of all these bills? What are you doing? Nah, Rabbi, don't worry. But he comes and he dawens. Shacharit. I'm not telling you, I'm not judging from nobody. I'm just trying to bring out a point. But the Torah says you have to guard your souls. You have to guard yourself very much. That means you can't damage yourselves, Rabotai. You can't. Also, when people go to these Baruch Hashem Simachot until 2 o'clock, and they have Sheva Barachot, and they have eggs and kartoshki and plov and manti and baran, but how much fat can you eat 2 o'clock in the morning? And then Rabotai, and this is what I'm trying to get out to. It doesn't matter if you're working, it doesn't matter if you're learning. What ends up happening with the men? They start becoming obese. Now, especially the ones that like to drink a lot, because a beer makes you have a belly. Rabotai, but you forgot about your wife. You want to be presentable to your wife. You want to be presentable with your children. You want to be able to walk with your children and not embarrass them. You want to be able to play ball with your children. You want to be able to see their weddings. What are you doing? Why should you cause yourself a heart clog, a heart attack or something? Why, Rabotai? And this is the problem. This is what I'm trying to come down to. All because of this. We don't have time for nothing. Why? Because we're busy with this stupid thing. That's why. You understand? If you don't know how to use the phone properly, don't use it. What should I tell you? Get a flip phone. Get a flip phone. Somebody told me one time, he says, Rabbi, you see this flip phone? I do everything. A rich guy, not somebody, an older guy says, I said, what about Chase? You have all these apps today. Rabbi, with one phone call, everything is done. Baruch Hashem, the guy has the money. One phone call, the driver is here, one phone call. I don't need this to kill my life away. And that's why these people spend time with their wives, with their family, have their own private jets. I don't want to get into details who these people are. But they're worth billions of dollars. And everything. And look how they help Klal, so look how much they do for the world. With a flip phone, he told me, with a flip phone. Rabotai, you can't use it, don't use it. Yes, you have pros and cons. If it's for work, fine. But you have to understand the honest truth is we waste a lot. Or better yet, we kill a lot of time that you're never ever going to be able to get back. That time, you could have learned Torah. That time, you could have spent time with your wife. That time, you could have been with your children. That time, you could have worked out. You could have exercised. But you didn't. Why? Once again, because you were on that garbage. Rabotai, educate yourselves. Don't be stupid, Rabotai. Don't allow your potential to be killed. Make yourself something. Become somebody, Rabotai. You have no idea how much the Chofetz Chaim is going to say right now, how much we have so much potentiality in our stuff, how much we could bring out. Hashem gave us that power. But what is all in the brain? Like a person has good ideas how to do this product and this and he never actually puts it to fruition. He'll never make money. What do you want me to tell you? That's how it works. Whatever is here, you want to make it come out to the outside world. Okay. All right, so that's what the Chofetz Chaim is saying. Every single person, according to their own level, wherever they are standing in their religious life, they have to start seeing how much bittul Torah is found by him. Yesh mevatel kol yamav. You have a person that nullifies learning Torah all the days of his life. V'yesh, and however you have some other people, she'afilu kishlomed eze shanim b'yimei nu'urav, that even if he's been learning when he was still a teenager or before he got married, he was learning many years. Mikol makom, nevertheless, when Hashem blesses him with children, mitbatelet etzlo haTorah me'od me'od. The Torah becomes very much nullified. He doesn't have time for it. V'na'asa lo hadavar keheter gamur. It becomes to him like it's permissible 100% not to learn Torah. Rabotai, remember, Chofetz Chaim is saying this, not me. Ad shafilu be'ez sheyesh lo eze zman l'lmod, gam ken mevatel. To such an extent that even when he already has time to also learn Torah, Right? You come home, the wife is sleeping, the children are sleeping. What do? You go on your phone or your TV, whatever you guys have. Also, he doesn't learn Torah. However, you have other people that they guard themselves from this. That even when they have children, they still go ahead and they learn Torah. And they learn every single day. However, nevertheless, they're not careful with it properly. Still, they waste many hours every single day in not learning Torah. Even at the time when they have free time to learn Torah, they say, what do I need to learn now Torah? I already learned Torah. No, I need to take a break. No, I can relax. No, I have to take a break. Rabotai, this is what it means. Everybody according to their own standing. Just because you learn Torah all day in yeshiva or morning and night doesn't mean when you're free, you're potter from learning Torah. This is the thing, but you have to be honest with yourself. Do you want to become an Adam Gadol? I'll say it a little bit better. Do you want to become a real Eved Hashem? Do you want to become a real servant of Hashem? Or do you want to become a bomb like everyone else? You want to become an Eved, if you want to become an Eved Hashem, take no days off. You want to become a bomb? That I don't really have to tell you what to do. You already know what to do. V'hine, he says, this is what the pasuk says. When it says in the pasuk that you have to search it like treasures. We have to learn out from searching treasures. Because the way is when you're searching for a treasure, you search until you find the last treasure that there is. לא יאמר די לי בתת אלפים רובל כסף שמצאתי בהם אלא יחזור ויחפש אחר כיס עשירי שאמר לו אביו עד שימצאו כולו. You guys remember the story with the father when he said, I gave you guys 10 bags of 10,000 ruble, whatever it was. So he says, what happens if they would have only found 9,000 ruble of silver? Would they stop? No, they would continue until they find everything. What happens if this guy says, some 9 is enough for me? How much can you want? How much can a person have? And if he's not going to do so, if he's not going to continue searching for the last treasure that the father left him, and our situation is the Torah, he's going to be considered to be a fool. That you're leaving over a treasure in the dirt forever.